Hey Adam, so this is my PBL presentation. I just wanted to show you first my poster. I don't know if you can see it. Um, Probably I'll send a picture too, and I'll also send everything else, like everything I typed out on Word. I'll send that to you so you can read word to word before I printed it out. But that is not the main point. Main point is I studied ADHD, and the reason I did this, or the background I could say, is there was a special little boy I met when I was in my Ben Franklin Elementary first grade classroom. Um, the first time I met him, I knew something was up the first time. Because he started throwing chairs around, throwing a fit, and he had a tantrum, and my cooperating teacher had to go get help from the other first grade teachers just to calm this guy down. So I'm like, oh boy, here we go. This is going to be bad. But I learned later that he has ADHD and that he had trouble taking medication. Like he took medication, but he refused to do it. And we would always talk to his parents, be like, did he take his medication today? And they'd be like, oh, we didn't give it to him. And we're like, is he supposed to be on it? He would throw fits, and especially when he was not getting attention, we noticed. That was my main observation is he wasn't getting attention, he would throw a fit, just start screaming out of nowhere. He also he had trouble doing simple tasks like homework and stuff because he couldn't sit still on his desk. Every Friday they had Roadrunner assembly. That's where the whole school got together, and he couldn't sit still. We always had to have him sit by the teacher, and he just could not sit still. He stood up in the middle of the assembly. So it made me really wonder about ADHD and everything, and it came to my main question, which was, what are the general ADHD management techniques, and how do you adapt to individuals in your classroom? So I wanted to learn more about management and with kids with ADHD. So the education concepts that came with this. First thing I thought of was the zone of proximity. Am I saying it right? Zone of proximity from, oh boy, from Vygotsky. Yeah. Vygotsky. Yeah. I always mess up on his name. But basically, we all know this in class. I've learned this many times. There's that one circle where, they can do it just fine. They don't need help. There's that circle where they can't do it. They just can't do it. They probably need some help. And then there's in the middle. That's where our teachers come in. And that's where I need to come in as a future educator with kids with ADHD to work with them, find the right thing for them to work with. And then there's differential instruction, which we learned a lot about in class. I looked into that because, you have to adapt each lesson because every child is different. And I noticed this in my first grade classroom. Every kid had a different learning style, especially reading and writing. They all learned differently. And I noticed with this kid who had ADHD, we needed to figure out how to teach them so they all are learning at the same time and they all understand it at the same time. And that's a main concept. I think, that should be in every school. This goes to my research that I looked up, and I found a lot of research. First thing I found is estimated 1.46 to 2.46 million kids in the United States have ADHD. And it's 9 times more likely for boys to have it than girls, which I noticed. I was later found out that another boy in a different first grade classroom had ADHD, and it's very common. And it seems very common. And they also said about a quarter of those kids also have a learning disability. And I know the kid I was observing in my classroom, He would leave for reading time because he did have he had dyslexia. I figured out later. And so he was one in the quarter. And they, this .com Idealin, that's how you say it, I think. Yeah. It says that, squirming in their seats, they can't sit down, they can't concentrate. They blurt out things uncontrollably, which my kid did that a lot, in my classroom. One time he comes in and he's like, "Hey guys, what we doing?" So, well, going way past 5 minutes. And then I found out from an article from Russell A. Barkley, PhD, that about like management tips. There's 8 principles. The summary out of it, I'm not gonna say each principle. I wrote them down on the poster. You'll see. But I'm not gonna go through each one. It's gonna take forever, and I don't want this to be a 10-minute video. So basically, just law praise. If you see praise, give it right away because they love attention. If they see that, oh, they're doing something right, then they'll start acting like good and bad, learn from that. And like consequences, if you see, don't wait. Don't, because they're not going to remember later. You have to do it right away. That is basically what Russell is trying to say in his article is don't wait. Just you tell them right away, and then in the end of the day, forgive them. It is frustrating. I saw my cooperating teacher. She was extremely frustrated with him, like 24/7, and it's okay. And she forgave him at the end of the day, just letting him know, we don't hate you. We like all our students. We love all our students, and we're not going to label you as the bad kid because we don't want that. No one wants that. So this comes to the final conclusion, my solution. So after a lot of research and everything, I realized that you gotta look at their strengths. You gotta look at what they're interested in. And this goes back to differentiating instruction. You have to look at their interests. Like, I noticed the boy who he loved history. So we knew if we cooperated history in it, he'd love it. Try to, be really, really cooperating with the teachers. Work well with the teachers. That's the best way to do this. And also, break up big projects. I noticed my cooperating teacher wasn't doing this. Break up really big projects into smaller projects, especially for young kids, first graders, and that's where I want to work. You gotta just break it up into small groups. Be like, okay, let's get the Wiggles out, turn on a song, do a little wiggle dance, that will help them a lot. They'll be able to be like, okay, getting the squirmies out, and then get back to work, and they'll be better off concentrating, I guess. They'll have a better time. Have them take breaks, what else? All right. And then I said, with the parents, let them know how they're doing each day in school. Like, a green card means they had a really good day. This is my plan, which I've seen in other schools do. Green card means they had a really good day. Your kid did good. Yellow cards, they had some problems. Leave a note for the parents to see. Be like, they had some problems today, but they turned around and fixed it. And red day is a really bad day. I'll call you to tell you what happened. We'll work something out as parents and teachers. And try to set a goal each day. Sit down with the child and be like, what's your goal for today? What do you want to accomplish? If they have learned small goals and they can reach those, and you can give them a reward, I don't say give them a reward every time, that's not good. But if you could be like, oh wow, you reached your goal, they'll feel successful, they'll want to do it more, especially with kids with ADHD. I have a lot of friends of them. They sit down, they make a list of things they want to get done of the day, and I think that's very important for a kid with ADHD. Sit down, be like, this is what we're doing. Here, what's your goals? What's my goals? And let's accomplish that. Future research and would have to be, I want to learn about the medicines. Do they really work? Are they really helping you? And lesson planning, I guess, like how to make the best lesson plan to incorporate every type of kid in the classroom, not just kids of ADHD or special education or learning disabilities in your classroom, but everybody. And just to work it, I guess, more classroom management for future research. But I do want to learn about like medicines. Do they work? Are they successful? And then I have my references. They're wrong on the Microsoft thing I'm sending you, so I'll fix that up quick. But they're right on the poster. So, but thank you very much. Hope to hear from you soon, and thank you for letting me present online. Thanks. Bye.